Hey everybody, thank you for watching. I'm John Huffmaker. I am a CCIE Collaboration hopeful, and I wanted to show what my network lab at home looks like. I've been working with the Cisco CCIE 360 program since I guess mid-December of last year. And I have based my lab around the design for all of their workbooks. Unfortunately, I can't provide any information out of those workbooks. It would be part of my non-disclosure agreement with Cisco. But what I definitely can show you is my home lab, because of course I'm not, well, this isn't Cisco's lab, this is my lab. Over here on the left I have two Cisco PowerEdge 2950s. Initially these were Gen 1, which you can tell because there is no little logo. Usually a Dell PowerEdge server will have a little logo over here in the corner signifying it's a Gen 2 or Gen 3. If it doesn't have that logo, it is a Gen 1. The Gen 1 servers only support dual-core processors, and what I found was that my call managers would not boot all the way up. You'd see them come up, you could get to them through the, you could putty over to them, you could get to the command line. You can see services were always just starting, but the web interface would never come all the way up. What I realized is it's not so much the amount of cores in the processor, but it's the amount of cache RAM. Those older ones only had 4 megs of cache on board. I ended up swapping the motherboards on these to Gen 3 motherboards, and then I got the best processor I could get, which are 4-core, 12 meg cache processors. I forget which one's which, but on one of them I have everything from my headquarters, which is a publisher-subscriber call manager, a Unity connection server, a presence server, a UCCX. Then on the other server I have my backbone, which is a call manager sub hub. I believe a presence server. I don't remember exactly, because you don't really do a lot with your backbone anyway. Then also you have the branch 1, which has a single publisher, a Unity connection server, and then also a presence server. I also have a copy of Windows Server, which does all my DNS and, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, those are my two servers that run all of that. These both have 32 gigs of RAM. Actually, I think they have 24 gigs of RAM specifically. And they are both absolutely maxed with all of that on it. So, something to consider when you are building your lab. Takes quite a bit of horsepower to run all of the virtual machines. Obviously I'm running ESX on both of these as the hypervisor, and these are all virtual machines running on top of that. Okay, for phones, I have 3 $99.71 phones, one for headquarters, one for branch 1, and one for the backbone. Yes, I did spend the money for these phones. They're kind of expensive. You can buy them on eBay for about $230. I wish I knew the reseller's name. There's a guy that's actually in Cupertino that sells these aftermarket for $230 a piece. So I did buy all three. Yeah, well, no video if you don't have video phones, guys. So I bought 3 video phones. Technically, you only need 2 phones to do a video call, but if you want to do a video conference call, well, you're going to have more than 2. So there you have it, 3 video phones. This is exactly as the 360 Lab has. Some time ago, I published the topology that Cisco said, go for it, you can put it up there. So I published that topology. This is based on that topology, and so this is publicly available information. So now down to my switches and routers. I have a single power over Ethernet switch. There is a crap load of VLANs. I use my own personal config. Some of these VLANs don't have virtual interfaces, so what ends up happening is they literally are there to power my phone. So to give an example, my branch 1, my branch 1 server, well, that's not a good example. Anyway. Okay, here's a good example. My branch 2. That is my branch 2 Call Manager Express router. Literally, the thing goes out and then into the switch. The switch has a private VLAN that then the Call Manager Express phone is plugged into. So when my phone goes out, asks for its DHCP address, it's actually just passed through the switch and down to the router. So again, the only reason my phone isn't plugged directly into the switch is because it needs power. So that's all that switch is doing there. But this thing has all kinds of trick configs. It has its own IP address, of course, just for managing itself. If you look at the topology for the lab, the headquarters has this pretty interesting configuration. So there's a lot of virtual interface. There's like a trunk port going up to the headquarters router and blah, blah, blah. Just look at the topology and that would probably make a little bit more sense to you. Oh, also, of course, my entire house is running off this switch. You see it up there in the little corner, little blinky lights right there. I have my ASA firewall. I can VPN into this from my house. I have FiOS internet here with 75 megs down, 25 up. So I can connect in. My two PowerEdge servers have direct cards, so if I was somewhere else in the world, I can VPN in, power up my servers, and the rest of my networking equipment's on all the time. The servers are pretty expensive to run, so I turn them off when they're not in use. Anyways, so that's that. My home runs off of this. I have wireless inside the house, but that's not really the point of this video. So, I have a couple other routers here. I have my 2911, which is in there. It's the kind of the one I'm highlighting on right at the moment. I borrowed this one from my work. I will return it probably in the next 8 weeks. I have a PVDM3 module in it. This thing actually isn't licensed for unified communications, so I put on the demo license, hence the reason for me to return it in about 8 weeks, because once that time bombs, I'm not going to have $400 to permanently buy the license for this, and even if that's not my hardware anyway, so I'm going to give that back. But that's what these three phones are now capable of doing. I have another video, another video up on YouTube where I showed the whole conference bridge thing, so if you want to see that, you're welcome to. So finally, I have my PSTN router. You'll notice that there are two VRIC version 2 cards in there. One PRI, T1 PRI out to my headquarters, one T1 PRI out to my branch 1, and one E1 PRI, hence the V2 WIC. I've turned this into an E1 and it goes out to my branch 2. This, of course, is running Call Manager Express, and remember the whole pass-through thing through the switch? Well, that goes up and powers this phone right here. I'm going to see if I can get a good shot of it because it's kind of dark in here. Well, I can't, and it's probably good that I can't, because that is a Cisco proprietary configuration for that phone back there. The advice I will give you is you're going to emulate PRIs out to your headquarters, your branch 1 and your branch 2, and the phone then connects to this, has 911 and 111 and 112, and emulates some random telephones out there in the world that you are interfacing with. So like I said, I can't really show you the phone anyways, because then it would show some of Cisco's proprietary configuration for that. Nothing really special about branch 1, it's just a router. Alright, but what is special is branch 2. Branch 2 is a Call Manager Express. You can see the little module down here. I also have my Unity Express module. That is about it in a nutshell. Of course, headquarters has 2 phones, so my second phone, it's in the back there. It's a 7912. I have another 7941 here. I got a bunch of random phones. You see I have boxes and boxes of those 7912s. The only thing that the 7912s cannot do is, extension mobility cross-cluster. If I had 7911s, you could, but I cannot with these phones. For the couple times I've done those at my house, I've borrowed some 7941s from work to do that. But, yes, it's a big mess. This has dominated my life for the last 9 months. Hopefully I'll pass this test here on October 1st. But for anybody else that's interested and wants to build their own lab, well, get ready to piss off all your life partners, because this is what your garage is going to look like for the next year. But if you have any questions or comments, please let me know and I'll see what I can help you with. Thank you for watching.